Yeah,
Welcome back, Darell. Just if you know, give a quick rundown on Darell. He shared his story on our We Are All One Story platform a while ago.
yeah,
It was a whole lot of stuff.
yeah. I didn't really dig too much into it because of fear, and still, I feel like still protecting the ones that hurt me because I kind of still talk to them now. So yeah, I feel like I found God. He showed Himself to me last May, and it really changed my life. So I've been moving a lot differently. Seen myself from the inside out. Like He showed me my life, even things I gotta hold myself accountable to, like you start feeling that conviction, that embarrassment when you get into the word, like when you really understand it, and that's basically what's been happening since last May, going on a year now, and
What's a moment with God like? I'm curious.
um, so when we first spoke, I had briefly touched on how I was let go from Ally Universal doing transit security. It was a little squabble with a homeless dude. He was mad at the police, and since I looked like one, he took his anger out on me. I defended myself, but I was let go for whatever reasons. Um, I don't have a criminal record. It was just self defense. But fast forward to last May, I was working youth corrections, and I got let go for some rumors about using some disrespectful language towards staff. But it was never that. I was just talking to another employee about the mistreatment of youth. It's not youth corrections anymore. It's youth services. So you're taking care of youth for the behavioral health part of
Right.
things for treatment. But that day I went home. It was a hailstorm, May 10th. It was a real bad hailstorm. Totaled my car out. I'm on paid leave. I'm thinking I'm gonna keep my job, paid leave. Uh, Me and the wife about to close on a house, and I think we had just found out she was pregnant again around that time, or shortly afterwards. But that night I just broke down. Started like, why do I keep falling in this same this it's the same loop of life, whether it was growing up, the army, Ally Universal with the security, or youth corrections. I'm losing jobs in a similar way. So it's like you look within, but this it makes you really look within, like core level, soul level, and I just broke down and I thought about everything. I felt comfortable out there crying, but it was like snot everywhere. Like it was a I saw my life. It's basically what was going on. It was like my wife was asleep, my daughter was asleep. Um, Bob's Burgers was playing because my wife likes the TV on, and I started thinking over everything. I just had it, then I lost it. The house I'm supposed to have for my family, the job I'm supposed to keep long term, like a career. I just lost it again. The hailstorm I knew totaled my car. It's like I'm starting over again. I already knew the outcome was going to be. I knew I was going to lose my job. I just didn't want to say it. And but that night I just broke down and started reflecting on everything. And it's weird. It's weird. I just looked in the mirror at myself, started praying. I'm going through because I'm about to explain it because it's like I start thinking about what other people are gonna feel about my stories, and it's just that's another thing I had to learn. I'll just say it. I started to read the Bible. I was like, God, show me how real you are. Like I need you right now. Show me how real you are. And moving to when I was in bed, and I broke down, went into the next room, and just bawled, cried, thought about everything, all the abuse that I didn't talk about, whether it was sexually, physically, emotionally, like from my parents on both sides, whether biological step, um, stuff they wouldn't admit, obviously, but start remembering some things those things you let go of, those things that are the reason for your trauma responses and things. I started to see all of these incidents happening. And I get up, grab the Bible, and my mom always told me go to the secret place. It's either a closet or a bathroom. Close the doors. And I'm like, God, I need you. And I just felt this dark presence. And I hear these whispers. The doors are closed. Like I'm sitting on the edge of the tub, giving you the breakdown of what it looked like, the scenery. I'm sitting at the edge of the tub. There's a bathroom door, but the toilet door is open, and I'm sitting on the edge of the tub. The two doors for both bedrooms, the Jack and Jill bathroom, with the room on both ends. I'm looking in the mirror. The light is on for the bathroom, but not for the sinks. It's just dark, the shadow. And then there was also a light that started to beam. Those old lights are those normal bulbs, or it's a light hue, golden. Yeah. This light was bright, and I hear it clearly. Do not turn around. Say what I tell you to say. And this is where it gets scary, because I got to refer to the book of Jeremiah. And then the book of Exodus. I'm getting nervous thinking about it, because it's scary, because I heard him. It was God. I heard God. Mm-hmm. So I'm making it clear. So that presence is there. And I'm looking at myself in the mirror. And it's the devil as pure as day.
How'd it look?
Like me. He was in me. That's what God was showing me. But this was when he was showing me how real he was, but he had to show me how real the enemy was. And he showed me how close I was to death. And I was living in sin and didn't know it, in ways that you don't know, like the iniquities. People don't know about what an iniquity is. And being lukewarm with faith. He was showing me these things with all the stuff I was hurt about, stuff that I held on to, and why I'm in this position in my life now. And some of it is my fault, and I used to blame him until I started to know the word. But back on track, he's telling me to say what I tell you, but don't look back. And I can see the light behind me grow brighter and warmer, like I have my back to the sun. And he tells me to say the Lord's Prayer, and then Psalms 23. And then that presence went away. But he said, you know what to say. It wasn't like, he wasn't giving me directions. He told me I know what to say, and then I said it, but he said, say what I command you to say. His word is life, so whatever the scripture is, his word. It was the word through David, but he said, you know what to say. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. I'm going through all of this, and the darkness is going away, and this light is getting brighter. And I get up, turn the light on, because that presence, I started feeling good, which I now know is the Holy Spirit. Moses and the burning bush is my reference. I didn't know these things until that day. I'm staring at myself, and it's like, I know that's not who I'm seeing. It's like, I'm looking at myself, but I'm seeing something else. And we don't have all the light bulbs in this light fixture because it'd be too bright, so there's a certain amount of light bulbs in it to control the lighting in this bathroom. That light was so bright in that bathroom, and I'm looking at myself in the mirror. It's like I felt like my heart turned from stone to flesh. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling forgiven. I'm feeling love.
Mm.
And I'm looking at myself and it's like, I know I know I'm not who I think I am. I know I'm not who I think I am. This can't be real. And I'm looking at myself and I'm seeing him. He's showing himself through me. He starts showing me these different things. And then I hear, it's time. And like the most commanding, the roar of the voice was so calm but so scary. It's time. And then my heart dropped and I got really hot. I thought I was going to hell. I thought I was dying because I was so hot and nothing looked the same.
Mm.
I felt like I was burning, but it wasn't like a torment. Like it felt just my whole body was warm. And my wife and daughter isn't. My daughter has a little bed next to ours, and my wife was in the bed, and nobody was budging. Everything was quiet. You usually can hear traffic, aircraft, and sirens almost every night. I didn't hear anything. Usually it's windy. There was no wind. And I still feel this feeling. But long story short, I scared my wife because I tried to wake her up because I thought I was dying.
Yeah.
And I just collapsed in my underwear on the floor because I thought I was burning. I took my shirt off. I was just in my underwear. Tears in my eyes still, snot in my nose. And I kept saying, I am who I am. I am who I am. I'm saying this. And I've never heard this before. I'm referring to the book of Exodus, chapter 3. Moses in a burning bush. And it scares me. That's why I cry, because it scares me, because he showed me how real he was by coming to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it just changed my life. Yeah, and even to this day on the way here, he shows me how real he is.
How did he show you on the way here?
I'll just give this that I've asked for certain symbols or signs for when I'm close to my blessing and when he's near. And I see every one of them every time. And it's a certain pattern. And it's every time I'm out. And
How long ago was this?
this is May 10th of 2023.
So it's very recent.
Yeah.
Very recent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's wild. That's wild, bro. It's wild. A moment like that is a catalyst to change your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and there's a lot of people who have encounters with God, the supernatural, whatever you want to call it. They have a moment, right?
Yeah.
That is surreal, but it's almost like the realest thing you've ever felt in life.
Mm-hmm.
And as time progresses, you know, for me personally, I had an experience with God as well, and it's different for everyone. But as time progresses, and for myself, I've had doubts, obviously, and life happens, and I'm 5 years removed from, you know, my whole shebang that changed my life. What do you do to keep the faith? What do you do to remind yourself of that moment of when you felt loved, forgiven, and you felt that presence was for you at the end of the day, that overwhelming power is actually on your side?
Mm-hmm.
And what do you do to, like, know that is the absolute truth? Do you just remember that moment and, like, that's how I do it. I'm like, hey, whenever, I don't care what anybody says. Me personally, I'm not going to go against my own experience, you know?
Yeah.
And this isn't a religious podcast
No,
or platform,
No, I
but
feel you.
we're just talking about these things because, this is what the subject is right now. And like I said, back to the question, what is, for me, what is your plan to not forget that moment, to not forget the truth of that moment for you?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, in the book of Matthew, it says that you gotta ask, seek, and knock. And I received all of those things I've asked, and that question was answered. I saw, and I saw, and then I know I've knocked, and now I know the door's open. Obviously, there's gonna be those. It's written. There's gonna be those. You're gonna go through things because he went through it. It's written that God came in human form. It's written in the book of Peter, I believe. He came in flesh to be like us, to live like us, to forgive us. But to keep the faith going, he showed me how real he was. I don't know how I can
ever forget that.
But I don't know.
I think it's easy. I think sober, yeah, I think it's easier to stay on the path. But for me, if I were to go back to drinking, I think like you said, the enemy's real. You know what I mean? So I think that it is easy to forget. I think it's easy to be removed from moments that are catalysts and life changing, and at times we don't take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Like we don't take it in its for what it is, for how powerful it is, and that believing in that for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? And like I do think a lot of people can have a moment like that and just be like drink themselves out of it.
Yeah.
You know?